Giuliani, someone needs to put a zipper on that mouth because he incriminates himself. And recently he had claimed that he had never asked Trump for a pardon following the January 6th riots. And then later he admitted that he asked Trump for a pardon after the January 6th riots.
This is awesome.
So in a tweet he wrote, the January 6th witch hunt cabal has now exceeded even its prior fraudulent.
That's not even a sentence. He was a renowned prosecutor and the mayor of New York. But look, I don't know if it's that he can't stop drinking or he's lost his mind. But that's not even a sentence, okay? But all right, it's gonna get way worse and way funnier.
The last witness was a reckless liar, and he's speaking about Cassidy Hutchinson, who served as the aide for Mark Meadows, the White House chief of staff. Contrary to her false testimony, she was never present when I asked for a pardon.
Oops, oh, come on, Rudy, you knucklehead.
What are you gonna do?
She wasn't even there when I asked for a pardon. Then he continues, he writes, this is what, I love this part so much. He writes the next sentence, actually, I told the president I did not want or need one. But then, dude, why did you press send? Why didn't you go back and take out the part where you admitted she wasn't there when you asked for the pardon? Because he's on the sauce 24/7 and he's like pouring it into his ear and stuff, right? He's like, he can't figure out what's going on. He's pouring it into his eyes. So he's like, guys, you weren't even there when I asked for the probation pardon. Actually, I mean, I didn't ask, so we want one, but you know what I'm saying.
Later, he goes on to completely deny that he ever asked for a pardon. I never asked for a pardon, even though in my previous tweet I totally said that I did. I didn't need one, I never lied, nor did anything wrong. Friends suggested anyone in the inner circle should because the lying radical left tried to frame innocent people. Let me show you what the so-called lying radical left looks like. This is Cassidy Hutchinson, top aide to White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. And that wasn't her first post working in politics. Okay, homegirl was working for Ted Cruz, all sorts of unsavory individuals. She's a hardcore right winger. Here's some of her testimony.
Ms. Hutchinson, did Rudy Giuliani ever suggest that he was interested in receiving a presidential pardon related to January 6th?
He did.
Pretty clear.
Yeah. So they also have emails of John Eastman, the kook lawyer that Trump was using to argue that we could do fake electors and they could sign nonsense pieces of paper saying they're the real electors and then we could do a coup. He writes to Julie, he's like, hey, you guys still doing those pardons? I think I might need one. Giuliani's like, oh, I'm working on the pardon list. He's caught red-handed, and then so. By the way, the tweet where he admitted that she wasn't there when he asked for the pardon, he deleted it.
Of course.
But wait, if you're never
we'll
lied,
never see it if you delete it.
Yeah, if you didn't lie and it wasn't an issue, why did you delete the tweet? Okay.
Okay, so here's a serious question. Okay, because you keep mentioning that he's sauced up, and that could be true. I'm not sure, but. The other issue is, I mean, he's getting up there in age. Like we have a bunch of people who are like, I think, experiencing significant cognitive decline. Like in the public, in politics, like in this case, I mean, Giuliani until fairly recently was still a lawyer. Practicing lawyer.
Yeah, he got disbarred for all the lies that he didn't do in this case.
Giuliani, even though I have no doubt that we didn't agree politically and all of that, he used to be like a respected politician.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before. A lot of the politicians are getting up in age. The reason is they get a return on, the corporate donors get a return on investment. So they're like, hey, we've been giving Joe Biden money for 50 years. He always delivers for us. He said, when he says nothing's gonna fundamentally change, nothing fundamentally changes,
right.
Okay? That guy's gold. Pelosi's gold, Mitch McConnell's gold. By the way, Trump in a lot of ways is gold. So he's mercurial, he's crazy, and you can't predict him. But he delivered on the tax cuts for the rich. He delivered on tax cuts for corporations. He didn't deliver for anything for his own voters, but he delivered for the rich donors. So they were, until recently, they now think he's mentally unstable, and they would prefer a more stable criminal, right? So the
a very stable genius.
Yes, the Republican donors are going to people like DeSantis, as we reported earlier in the show, because they want, a reliable return on investment. So, but in terms of that's why they're so old. That's why you're seeing Rudy and Trump and Pelosi and Biden, Feinstein melting before our own eyes.
Do they not have loved ones in their lives?
No, look, with Feinstein, it's really, really sad, right?
It is. I was actually watching, I think it was a documentary or something, but it was after Harvey Milk was assassinated, and Dianne Feinstein was giving a speech, and obviously that was a long time ago, but it is sad, right? Like, how do you, I'm sure she has family members, I'm sure she has loved ones. How are they not stepping in, right? I mean, the Democratic Party is trash. They don't care, right? They don't, perfect. It's even better if you don't know what's going on and they can just manipulate you in any way they need to. But her loved ones, her family members, how are you not stepping in and getting her out of this incredibly abusive situation?
Yeah, and so it's true for all. I mean, Rudy's face is sometimes literally melting. Remember when the makeup thing was running down his face? And so
it was his hair dye.
Yeah, his hair dye. And so he might have those issues, that's true. But I'm not the one saying that he's drunk. I'm getting that from Republicans in the Trump White House who have been testifying over the last couple of weeks going, well, when we saw Rudy, he was drunk as usual. And on election night, he was sauced. On the day after, the morning after, the morning before, sauced, right? So like, he gets up in the morning, we wash our face like this, he just takes a martini and throws it against his face. And then he's like, no, you weren't there when I asked for the pardon. Not that I got one or wanted one, but you weren't there. Like, so Rudy's got a number of issues.
We're not winning with Rudy.
No, and neither was his son, by the way, who just got killed in that election in New York.
Too soon, or maybe not. I love it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.